everybody, welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Month. I'm talking about all the Kingdom Hearts games. You could go read through the whole lore like I did, because I understood nothing after Kingdom Hearts 2. I guess. But why read through the whole lore when you can just watch me talk about the games? I'm like your free audiobook, with video. Anyways, now to talk about Kingdom Hearts 358 over 358 days over 358 divided by... Hey, how do you say that?
Kingdom Hearts, 358 days over 2.
Yeah, no. 358 over 2 days it is. Remember the last video where I said what Sora did to free Kyrie's heart was really important? Oh, you didn't see that video? What's wrong with you, man? I thought we were cool. Anyways, meet Roxas. Roxas was created after Sora did that. Roxas is a part of Organization 13, a group of nobodies who want hearts. How did they get the hearts? They use Kingdom Hearts. I know what you're thinking. That Kingdom Hearts doesn't look like this. Well, yeah, because the door one, but actually there are actually 3 Kingdom Hearts size. The Kingdom Hearts is whatever. However you say it, plural, I do not care. There's one that holds the world hearts, which is the door, the one on the screen that holds the people hearts, and then I'll adjust the third one in the last video. Roxas befriends Axel, another member of the organization, and a girl named Xion. After beating up some Heartless and going on missions, the 3 amigos sit at the top of the clock tower in Twilight Town and eat some sea salt ice cream. Each member has their own weapon. Like Marluxia has his scythe, and Roxas has the Keyblade, but Xion can actually use the Keyblade too. And now here are some big spoilers, so look at the screen to know when to skip, as well as the comments and description. I know I barely talked about 358 over 2 days, but there isn't really much to talk about. I basically explained the whole plot. Besides the fact that they go to different worlds and stuff. And yeah, so just skip if you want to avoid spoilers. Also, did I mention Riku was in this game? Yep. Anyways, after losing to Riku in a fight, Xion goes into a coma. She dreams about Sora and starts to question her own existence. She distances herself from Roxas and Axel to find out more about herself. It turns out that Xemnas created her out of Sora's memories in case Roxas couldn't do the job. And Sora can't restore all of his memories from Castle Oblivion because she exists. Altered by Xemnas, Xion fights Roxas so that they can merge with Sora. After Roxas beats Xion, Xion asks him to stop Xemnas and then disappears. Roxas' best friend dies in his arms. Hold on. I think some ninjas are cutting onions in my house. Roxas runs away from the organization to the world that never was and confronts Riku, who is trying to get Roxas to merge with Sora. Roxas almost wins, but Riku taps into the darkness inside his body to overpower Roxas, giving him the appearance of Ansem. A figure named Diz puts Roxas in a simulation of Twilight Town with no memories of the organization to eventually merge with Sora. The reason why I didn't talk about any gameplay in this was because I've never played 358 over 2 days, and I've only seen the movie and some gameplays. But this next game, is probably the most confusing game in the series. I'll try and sum it up, but it will be hard. Let's do this. It took me a few days to write this part of the script. It's confusing. 2005/2006 was the release of Kingdom Hearts 2, and it's probably the most confusing Kingdom Hearts game ever. The story begins with the player in control of Roxas in Twilight Town. Roxas has dreams of Sora's adventures, even though they aren't even his own. While increasingly mysterious activities began taking place in Twilight Town during Roxas' summer vacation, after obtaining the Keyblade to defend himself from the nobodies, not those nobodies, these nobodies. Roxas comes in contact with a young man in black named Axel. Remember him? Axel knows Roxas, but Roxas doesn't remember Axel. Roxas eventually makes his way to an abandoned mansion where a girl named Namine, remember her, informs him that he is a nobody. These guys. Although he did not quite not yet know what a nobody was at the time. Finally, confronted by a mysterious red-cloaked man called Diz, Roxas discovers Sora, Donald, and Goofy sleeping in a hidden basement of the mansion. Roxas seems to merge with Sora as Sora, Donald, and Goofy awake from their year-long slumber. After meeting Pete, a new villain, and speaking with young Sid, the party is informed that they must once again visit many worlds to protect them from both the Heartless and Nobodies in an attempt to stop Organization 13. These include both old but greatly changed places like Hollow Bastion and the brand new worlds the party has never encountered before. There's also even Scrooge McDuck. He's tougher than the Smarties and smarter than oh wait. Along the way, they learn that Ansem, that they fought a year ago, was actually the Heartless of Xehanort, and that the nobody of Xehanort, Xemnas, is the leader of Organization 13. There's a huge web of these people relating to Xehanort. I'll talk about all of it in Birth by Sleep. I'll leave the really confusing part later. It gets confusing. The series, the lore, once you first go through it, it's hard to wrap your head around. Once you just read it again or like play it again, after time it gets less confusing. Trust me. You just have to play, but it's pretty confusing. They also learn that the Xehanort was an apprentice of the real Ansem, who is currently missing. Kingdom Hearts 2 is way more action-based than the others. Sora can use rapid fast techniques, quick time events, and a whole lot of other stuff. You get to go to new worlds like Pride Rock and Pirates. Get to fight pirates. There's also Tron. There are the drive forms that do different things. Valor focuses on melee. Wisdom focuses on magic. The Master Form does both physical and magical attacks, and Final Form does both physical and magic attacks also, but it's just cooler. Next is the spoiler section, so if you don't want the final plot ruined for you, skip to the codes on the screen or in the description. Xemnas appears and reveals their ultimate goal. The Nobodies plan to create another Kingdom Hearts, a doorway to the heart of all worlds, that will presumably allow the Nobodies to get their hearts back. After confronting and defeating more members of the organization, Sora goes to the world that never was to settle the score with the organization for good. He also finally reunites with his friends, Riku and Kairi. Sora learns the truth about Roxas as well. He and Naminé are respectively Sora and Kairi's nobodies, created when they lost their hearts in the original Kingdom Hearts games. In the end, only Xemnas is left of the original 13 members of the Organization 13. Sora and Riku unite to defeat him, and his new Kingdom Hearts is closed. Sora and Riku are sitting in the realm of darkness until a note from Kairi comes in and opens the door to the light. Sora and the others return to their homeworld of Destiny Islands. Although Sora has to say goodbye to Donald and Goofy, he knows that in his heart that the true friends are never gone. Wow, that was pretty cheesy. Kingdom Hearts 2 is a very action-heavy game. I swear, you have to fight like 1,000 Heartless at one time. I'm not exaggerating. It's one of the parts in the game. Sure, they're as hard to kill as like a 5 Heartless battle, but it's still a pretty big amount. But it also has a heavy amount of RPG elements. Also, I summarized this pretty well, I think. I left out a whole bunch of stuff, so if you want to play it, prepare to be confused. I tried to fit this into maybe a 20-minute video at the most. So yeah, you have been warned if you want to go back and play it for the story. If you want more action with the Keyblade, or 2, this game is probably for you. The next game is a spin-off, Kingdom Hearts Recoded, taking place after Kingdom Hearts 2, and follows the story of Jiminy Cricket, King Mickey, Donald Duck, and Goofy Goof. I'm pretty sure that's his last name. In Disney Castle. While organizing the records in Jiminy's journal from his travels with Sora and his friends, he sees a note that says something he never wrote. Their hurting will be mended when you return to end it. To investigate it, Mickey digitizes. Hold up, give me a second to do something. Kingdom Hearts, Digital Sora, Herc is the Coliseum champion. Kingdom Hearts, Digital Sora, Herc is the Coliseum champion. But seriously, Mickey digitizes the journal, making a digital Sora to uncover who is hurting. As Data Sora awakens on Destiny Island, he encounters numerous bugs, which take the form of red and black blocks, covering the whole world. Upon eliminating the Heartless and destroying the bugs, Data Sora traverses to other worlds infected with bugs to return them to normal, following the cloaked figure upon orders from King Mickey. I'm about to get into some spoiler stuff again. I know I didn't say much about it by itself, but there isn't really much to it. Meanwhile, in Disney Castle, Heartless began appearing, and everyone finds themselves trapped in the room. To their surprise, they are saved by Data Sora. Suddenly, the cloaked figure reveals himself to be Gemini's journal, taking the form of Riku, and explains that they are no longer in the real world, but the Datascape. Sora is sent off by the journal to discover his true identity, only to encounter Maleficent and Pete from the real world. Maleficent destroys Data Sora's Keyblade and summons Heartless to attack him. Mickey and the journal arrive to save Sora, Data Sora, but the journal is abducted by Maleficent. With Mickey giving chase, Data Sora makes his way through Hollow Bastion, aided by Donald and Goofy. They encounter Pete, who summons the journal and takes control of him with the bugs to fight them. But Data Sora still manages to defeat the journal, who falls unconscious. Mickey arrives and informs Data Sora that unless the bugs are destroyed, the journal will never awaken. Data Sora decides to find a way to awaken the journal and enters Data Riku's datascape, losing his abilities in the process. The two visit various worlds from the Data Riku's memory and find their way back to Hollow Bastion, where they fight and defeat Maleficent. Meanwhile, King Mickey discovers that he will be returning soon to the real world. Once the journal, once completed, will have to be erased, which means that the end of Data Sora's memories. When the time comes, Sora requests more time in order to save Pete and Maleficent, who are still in the Datascape. Data Sora finds them fighting Sora's Heartless, but Pete and Maleficent are seemingly erased before he can save them. Data Sora defeats Sora's Heartless and finds that Pete and Maleficent were rescued by the journal through a rift in the data. They leave the Datascape shortly before Mickey returns to the real world, erasing the journal. A new message appears claiming that a new door to a new world has been opened, which is the data of the data world added into the journal. Mickey, realizing that this quest may be too dangerous for Sora, as he has no memory of it, requests to be taken into the Datascape once again. Finding Data Sora in Traverse Town, Mickey takes him to Castle Oblivion, where Data Sora is confronted by a young man wearing a black coat. The young man tells Data Sora, that if he wants to know the truth, he must move forward on his own through the previous worlds he visited, destroying bugs. During this time, he realizes that even if he doesn't remember someone he's met, there is still the sadness of having them forgotten, which the figure attempts to warn not to let consume him. Data Sora regards this message and fights the figure, revealed to be Data Roxas. After losing, Data Roxas gives him a card as Mickey appears. Data Sora opens the next door to find Data Nominee, who reveals the bugs to have been an unintentional side effect of her attempt to restore Sora's memories. She then reveals Sora's nature as the key that connects everything through his ties with herself, Roxas, Axel, and Xion. Furthermore, Data Nominee tells Data Sora about three figures, Terra, Ventus, and Aqua. I'll go over them later. Also tied to Sora's heart, who are the ones referred to in the message and needs his help. Mickey bids farewell to Data Sora and promises Data Nominee that he will inform the real Sora of this. Kingdom Hearts Recoded is pretty much a Code Lyoko version of Kingdom Hearts. Again, no gameplay. I watched the movie in the 2.5 remix. Join me next time where I finish up with Kingdom Hearts Month with Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, and Kingdom Hearts 0.2. See ya! Also, did you notice I got a new mic?